Ladies and gentlemen, your favorite boy, Tall the Traveling Clat, coming to you live right now from an undisclosed location. We are reporting on some very disturbing news coming out of Israel right now. As you can see here on my left, a picture of an exploded bus. There was just a thwarted, massive attack on Israeli innocent civilians, planned and taken responsibility for by Hamas. We are just reeling off the news today of the Bibas family supposedly being released, but we don't even have 100% confirmation on this because the bodies have not been identified in the caskets that they were brought back so far. So this could have been part of this wider terrorist attack that was planned by Hamas at the moment. We're not 100% sure. But about 2 hours ago, local time, I might even be less than 2 hours ago, buses started to explode. We'll take a look here at a video. So you can hear that secondary explosion. This is actually in central Israel where a lot of my family lives, very close to where I live as well, happening between Bat Yam and Hulon, where my grandma, that you guys know and love on the channel, lives. So this is happening very, very close to home actually right now. You can see here another news update from the Hamal. This is another picture of an exploded bus, one that detonated. I'm going to read you guys the updates that we have at the moment. Let me pull up another video. So this is what we're dealing with: civilian buses detonating across central Israel. This is a video of a bomb squad. What's it called? The robot that's going to check the bus to see if it's about to detonate or not. This happens. You'll see this sometimes in the old city of Jerusalem. If there's a chefetz chashud, we call it in Hebrew, like a suspected or a suspicious object that's been laid behind. So you can see it's doing its thorough check right now. And I'll read you guys the update that I have here from one of my sources. So we have security assessment. The explosives were intended to detonate at 9 a.m. local time, not 9 p.m. So tomorrow, Friday morning, 9 a.m., during the rush before Shabbat, a bunch of buses and public transportation were supposed to explode. And this was, not thwarted, actually. We'll get into that in a second. Suspected additional explosive device on Highway 1. Police have raised the alert level to the highest in the area. Residents of Gush Dan are urged to remain vigilant. Gush Dan is basically the central region of Israel. Defense Minister Israel Katz has ordered the IDF to escalate operations against terrorist infrastructure and refugee camps across Judea and Samaria in response to today's attempted attacks in the Dan region. He stated, "We will hunt down those responsible and dismantle terror attacks. Anyone who harbors terrorists will pay a heavy price." And then lastly, the attack was not prevented or thwarted. It simply failed. Most of the explosives detonated without interference, and there had been passengers on the buses. We would have been loading body bags onto milk trucks. Inon shalom itach, military and security. I think this is probably the most important portion of this video to hark on, is the fact that this was not thwarted. This was simply a failed attack. You could see here's the improvised explosive device, or at least pieces of it, from the Palestinian terrorists. You can see a bottle that has Arabic written on it right there. It looks like a clock connected to a cable, connected to another gear or something. So this is what the improvised device looks like. This is what we're dealing with when it comes to these terrorists from the West Bank. And I'm going to get into a little bit of speculation here on what exactly might be going on. Once again, I want you guys to just hear that secondary explosion. You can see a bus is already on fire here. Pay attention. So you can hear that's another explosive device going off, somebody filming from their balcony. So let's talk for a second. I don't have a lot of patience to sit here and analyze this whole thing. It's already been a rough day. And personally, I've been traveling around the world on flights for the last 4 or 5 days, so I'm exhausted. But I want to analyze this with you guys really quickly. Something you guys have to know about this, okay? Hamas today released Kfir, Ariel, and Shiri Bibas. 3/4 of the Bibas family. Yarden Bibas, the husband, was released. The father was released about a week ago, starving, without his family. Now they released supposedly the rest of the family in body bags, in coffins today. The situation is as follows, and I updated you guys on this earlier. The bodies were released in coffins with keys that didn't work. So whether it be psychological terror or part of a larger operation, I think Hamas realizes that its back is against the wall and it's got no money, no more cards to play. And once this phase of the ceasefire is over, they are down and down bad. And I think Hamas has recognized this and realized that they're trying to get one more punch in before they go down swinging. And I think that when you have nothing to lose, that drives you to do insane things like this. It's not so crazy from their normal track record. I mean, they're pretty used to blowing up buses and trying to kill innocent civilians. But I think potentially, and there's no substantiated claims, I haven't seen any connection to this yet, but yeah, this is just my personal opinion. I think that there's a chance that today's release of the Bibas family, which has not been confirmed to be them yet because I don't think the coffins have been able to be opened yet. I think they're also trying to figure out if there's explosives in these coffins. This may have been a part of this terrorist attack. They may have just tried to stall with these coffins by getting locks that weren't going to be opened, and then maybe those coffins were part of the detonation. Or maybe the whole thing is just one big psychological terror operation. Regardless, the situation is really, really bad. You know, I kept saying this over and over again. Palestinians need to back away. They need to back away hard from this movement. If Palestinians actually have any desire of living in peace with Israelis, with Jews, in one country, in one land together, the time was yesterday to come out openly and advocate for that against Hamas. You'll have to risk your life. The clock, it's ticking, and it's been ticking for a while now. The patience in Israel, I don't want to start throwing around the word genocidal and all that stuff, but the rhetoric that I'm seeing from Israelis, especially after the Bibas family, you are on borrowed time. All the sympathy points that you may have had from the Israeli public is slowly but surely waning. And trust me, with as much as you maybe thought that you didn't have sympathy points, there was a lot of sympathy points. A lot. People were still sympathizing with you, still trying to fight for you on the streets of Israel. With a terrorist attack like this, you are going to lose, and you're going to lose big. It is time for you to step out of the garbage, for you to step out of the terrorism, fight for your right to remove Hamas from your life. This is going to sink your entire society. I warn you, and I'll warn you again. I will warn you again. Palestinians, Ismani, min fadlik, Ismani. Step up to the plate. Move forward past Hamas. They will bring you down with them, and they are going down. This is a done deal. It's make it or break it time. Appreciate you guys supporting my channel. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one.
Leaving my content and want to support me, just know your help is needed. There's a bunch of great ways to support me, being PayPal, Buy Me a Coffee, or joining my Patreon community down below. Patreon is the best way to support my channel, and you'll get a bunch of cool perks depending on what tier you join. Another great way to support me is by buying my merchandise on thetravelingclat.com. I regularly drop new merch designs like this beautiful hat, or this amazing shirt, where you can support the channel and get something cool for yourself. I also have an amazing Discord community with people from all over the world. Thank you so much for your support.